My name is Odion Gabriel, popularly known as Apostle. So I have this question: how do we make our elderly parents view things from the present perspective?
Mr. Champion, thank you for what we have learned today on Vivid View. My question goes thus: how can we increase the awareness among young people for elderly advocacy so they can do more for their aged parents?
Welcome back. The question has already been asked by audience, so I direct them to our guests for their response.
Okay.
Michelle?
I believe someone asked, how do we tell our parents what's best for them? Because most times our parents feel like they know more than us. That's something like that. So in most situations, you have children trying to communicate with their parents and not being able to bridge that gap, because parents have this, the time they grew up is different from the time you're growing up. What you know and what they know is different, even though they still have more knowledge on some of these things. But the technology you're privileged to have has made you know some things in a different way and see things in different light. Okay, for example, in the past, you have people in 20-something years old that is probably going to the office as seen as the person that is a good person. But these days, you have tech people who don't even go to the office every day. They don't wear suits, they don't wear ties. And then they are doing these things and they are making good money there. So things are changing, and somehow, some way, it is expected for us that because of what we have, to much is given, much is expected. So because of the amount of knowledge and information that we have at our own hands, it's expected that we know how to use it to get what we want to achieve with our parents, which is to cater for them, to explain what they need, to be able to share what we believe is important. Yeah, the first part is for you to be patient with them, for you to be able to communicate with someone who speaks a different language than you. Even though it's English you're speaking, the difference in that age is that it's changing the language already. So you need to understand what they want and be able to explain to them that, Mama, maybe back then, this is the kind of food the apple you used to eat is the one that they said is good. But now you have gotten to this age, you need to maybe start taking some fruits, some vegetables, because it is important for you. Or you cannot take drinks like you used to take before. Maybe you need to start taking water and smoothie and things like for your health. All of these things are things that we know better. In the past, I think maybe the only thing they had was agbo. They don't have anything like that. So we have this information, we should use it to our own benefit. That's just it.
The second question said, how do we sensitize for elderly advocacy? Somebody said, from the look of things, that these are not being publicized. I think first, that's why we are having a topic like this, creating awareness for people to go back to their respective bases. For instance, I will go back to my church and make sure that, look, we have to bring these topics like this on and teach people. So one of the things that we really need to do, especially because we are people who are very religious, if we start with religious houses, religious homes, I think it will really fly, especially because it is even scriptural. It's in the scripture that we need to take care of our parents. We start from there. And like the man that asked the question, there's nothing wrong in going to other sectors where you have one or two people that they can sensitize. For instance, if you can sell it and look for somebody who can sell this to maybe a telecommunication company like MTN, and it comes up in one of their adverts, you understand it. Even if because they want to sell data and they're able to tell you, look, this is an investment in the aged. And because of that, you find out that this data is almost like that, and you're able to get it. You find out that it will actually make the necessary impact. Then we could approach government offices, let them be able to do what is needful. During the talk, we found out that there are some countries, they take special care of the elderly. One of these actually old people's home.
Social security.
One of the places I visited, actually visited, is in Hackney Central. I saw these old people home. I went there, I saw the kind of apartment that they live. And because I had somebody there, I was able to go there. And just because of one little conflict, one smoke detector, you find the phone ringing and they're asking, are you okay? Are you safe? You know what I'm talking about? They are taking care of their aged ones. So there's nothing wrong in our own government to be able to put up something like that. Like we were discussing before we actually came here, we said that there's nothing wrong, even in churches, to build home for the elderly. Build home. We should not just look at like schools. No, let's look for. We're talking about orphanage. What about the elderly? What about the aged?
Just to add to what they have said, the guest said that one of the reasons why they need this old people's home is actually to avoid loneliness, because they need to talk to somebody. That's one of the reasons. And I also believe that they will be taking good care of them. But it's not for you as a son or a daughter to just dump your parents in old people's home and forget about them.
No.
You don't care about them. You don't ask questions. How are they being treated? No. And I'm also saying that everybody must go to old people's home. No. You can also achieve part of this in your own house by bringing a house help, a domestic help that can also do that. And that domestic help will also be monitored. If it's possible for you to put CCTV, plant it that she may not even know. These are part of the ways you can monitor, constant calling. Come, mama, don't be afraid though. What is happening? Tell me. You educate her. No matter how your husband threatens you after dealing with you in a wrong way, see, let me know. I am the owner, I'm your daughter. I can take that person away and bring another person. For example, if their mother now will have that kind of boldness to say, no, this is how you treat me, or this is not how you treat me, and all that. Praying that our house help to domestic help. If you ever agree to be a domestic anybody, do what you're asked to do, what you're called to do. Don't maltreat whoever, whether as a child or as an old person. It's also very, very wrong, because you're accountable to God, if not for any other person. So those are the reasons why we are mentioning this. And we just talked about before, some young boys now who go and buy flashy cars and even build house to their girlfriends, whereas their parents that suffer for them are in the village suffering. Some are still using mouth to blow firewood. They don't even care about them. And they are trekking, riding bicycle at the old age, getting up and falling. Yet you want to show big boy. You go and buy houses and for a girlfriend that doesn't even know how you started. I'm not saying that is wrong, but first thing first. You want to show love. Yes, thank you for showing love. I'm a woman too. But take care of your parents first. Let them be comfortable, because they suffered for you. If there's any reason why your mother ran away from the house or this something, it's still your mother. Some parents abandon us when we needed her most, when we are small, they abandon us. There's reason for her to do so. That's not a yardstick. That's not a reason why you will not still take care of her. She's still your mother. She brought you to this planet Earth. Without her, you will not be born. So let us take these things very seriously as youth growing up. It's important you take care of your parents. Not I beg, they're there. Some people old homes, if you enter there, you will cover your nose. Whether they have children, they allow them, they don't care whether they bath, whether they eat, whether they wash their clothes. Haba. That's not good. And when she dies tomorrow, and I come and they flout your money around, throwing it. When they were around, they didn't enjoy from you. Shame on you as a youth if you do that. So please, take up your responsibility, because you too will grow old. That is my own way.